F.Scott Fitzgerald, and this is Tender as the Night. My name came from this book, Nicole Diver. What I love about these characters is that they are 100% believable. You feel badly for them, you hate them, you love them. It runs the gamut, as any normal human relationship would, so you get really invested. And it's glamorous, of course. It takes place on the French Riviera and in Switzerland, and it's based sort of on F.Scott Fitzgerald and his wife Zelda, who is a really tragic story, but she had, she was mentally ill, or it's not quite politically correct, but anyway, she ended up dying in an institution because she set fire to her bed and passed away that way. And it's just, she's a very interesting person, historical figure anyway, but this is roughly based on that. Nicole Diver is, in a sense, Zelda Sayre. So, definitely check this out if you haven't. F.Scott Fitzgerald is much more than just The Great Gatsby. Okay, so this is moving into, I'm already at 10 minutes, so I'm going to try to hurry, but this is moving into more modern literature, within our lifetime, so to speak. So Gabriel Garcia Marquez is perfect. There's the whole trend, Latin American surrealist literature, which I love all of, but 100 Years of Solitude is an epic novel. It follows families over generations, and it's perfect. You have to suspend disbelief a little bit to read these kind of novels, but what makes them great is that you still believe them, even though the things that are happening are verging on preposterous or magic, that kind of thing. You still believe it, and that is a great writer, I think, because it's using lies to tell the truth, and it's poetic, and it's sweeping and grand, and really great. Okay, and the next one, Lydia Davis. She is this is one of those ones that I love because of language, and she does short stories. And I first heard about this in the class I took, but some of her stories are a sentence long, so this is not for everybody, and I know that, but when I first met her, when I first was introduced to her, it was through this book, and it's so hard to see. Anyway, it's called Varieties of Disturbance. It has a fly on the cover. It has really short ones. I'm wondering if I can find one that's super short. She does translation work. Here's an example. That is one story right there. So they range from short like that to like an average short story length. But she does translation work, so she's very meticulous about the words that she chooses. Very clear-sighted, very precise, and just reading her is a pleasure and different. And it may not be for everybody, but give it a shot. Go to the library and look for one of her books. The collected stories, this book is within this one, and I've seen this at bookstores recently, so that's there. Okay, next is The Diving Bell and the Butterfly. This was made into a film. This was by Dominique Bauby, I believe is how you pronounce. He passed away. This is in memoir. This is in the memoir section, so I guess you could consider this nonfiction. But I have not seen the film. I've heard it's gorgeous, but he had a stroke. He was the editor of Elle, French Elle. He had a stroke, and it left him with locked-in syndrome, where you know what's going on around you, you're fully conscious, but you can't move. I mean, you're locked in your own body. So it explains it in the book, but he wrote this with the aid of a nurse and like a series of eye blinks and just a really complicated process, and I think he passed away right after he finished transcribing this, or having somebody transcribe it for him. It's beautiful. It will make you think. I've only read it once. I'll read it many more times, but I think you can get something out of it, and I love that one too. This one, Geraldine Brooks. This is People of the Book. I love this book, but really anything by Geraldine Brooks is perfect. She tells a wonderful story. She has a wide range of stories from various time periods in history, but her language is gorgeous, her characters are well developed, and I have nothing bad to say about her writing, so check her out. She's got at least 4 or 5 novels. This one I know is one that a lot of people I've read really awful reviews of this one, but for whatever reason, when I picked it up a few years ago at the library, I fell in love with it. It's called The Monsters of Templeton, and it's by Lauren Groff. For me, it's got surrealist elements. There's a sea monster in it, or a lake monster, which is probably my favorite part of the book, which comes at the end. Another one of those things where it breaks my heart for some reason, and I could reread that part again and again. Language here is great, but I mean, I have to read it again, and tastes change over time, but right now I really like this one. The cover is really pretty too. But yeah, somebody that I'm really interested in. I think, how do you come up with a story quite like that? But again, I see why some people wouldn't be interested in it. Okay, I got interrupted. Next one is Haruki Murakami, and it's Norwegian wood, and this one is sad, but really subtle. It comes across you, or it comes over you without you realizing it, and you think about it unexpectedly, and I don't know, it's haunting, I guess would be a good word for it. And I know that they have made this into a film, or that it's about to be released, so I'm not really sure, so I definitely want to see that, but it's a great book, and yeah. Sorry, I'm so bad at explaining. The last two are books that I've loved for a million years. They're children's books, technically. The first one is this, The Velveteen Rabbit, and it's a sweet story, it's a sad story. I like anything having to do with rabbits, but I don't know, it's just heartbreaking, but great at the same time. I'm really at a loss for words, but Velveteen Rabbit. And then finally, the last one I wanted to share is Charlotte's Web. And this is the first book I remember reading when I was in first grade, the first chapter book where this made me want to write. I have yet to do that significantly for public consumption, but I love this book, and I love anything having to do with animals, and just this book taught me to be a better person, I think, at a very young age, and I love it, and love the creativity involved with it. So anyway, that's it. I'm hoping I can splice the two pieces of this video together, and yeah, I would love to know what other people's favorites are. This by no means covers all of it, but these are the ones I had on my bookshelf and I could grab right away and wanted to share. So thanks for watching.